That's a problem. A bunch of depressed people, easy. If you had to invade a country, would you rather the opposing army be principled and energetic or depressed?
I'll tell you, I would not want to be invaded by a cheerful army.
Absolutely.
That's scary.
They're having too much fun, right? You want them all to be depressed. So
a morose army is easier to defeat. I agree.
Absolutely. So depression is a defended idea. You're not allowed to even talk about it.
Me when I played Crusader Kings once.
You're not allowed to help people get out of it, right? They like the idea of a depressed population. And this is what I say to people. Now, I'm not stupid. I understand like PTSD is real. I understand mental health is real. I'm not saying that, but I say if you're an 18-year-old boy or 18-year-old man and your life is pretty much okay, bacteria didn't steal your eyesight, which could have happened. You never had a car crash and lost both of your legs, which could have happened. You're actually very fortunate. And you wake up and you say, I'm depressed. I think you're an idiot. I don't think you're depressed. I think you've been psyoped. I think you feel a little...
So fucking stupid, dude. It's so stupid. Like, depression is literally a chemical brain imbalance. It's as real as everything else, okay?
little bit of depression, and you can fix that by changing your life. I think if you became rich and strong and smart and successful and you worked hard and you dedicated yourself and you were motivated and you tried your very, very best to become excellent, you probably wouldn't feel depressed anymore, which means it's not disease, is it? So why would you, well, the only reason you're even saying you have depression is because you believe in it.
So you're arguing for cause and effect. You're saying if you live a certain way, you're going to feel a certain way.
Absolutely. And I also would argue that I think we've evolutionarily, even though I do believe in God, I think that we've designed ourselves and the human has grown into a way where if you feel depressed or sad, I think that's a fantastic trigger or a warning signal to do something. If you were to say to me, Andrew, you have to complete this monumental task. You have to conquer the world. I would say, okay, but I need an emotional motivation to do that. I need to be unhappy having not completed the task. I need to be uncomfortable, right? If you're uncomfortable being out of shape, you'll get in shape. If you're happy being out of shape, then you're just gonna stay out of shape, right? So if you feel a degree of uncomfortableness inside of your mind, I think it's just your mind telling you that something about your life needs to change.
Yes.
You need to get up and change something. Guys would say to me, I'm depressed because I'm fat and I have no girlfriend. And I'd say, no, you have no girlfriend and you're fat and that's why you're depressed. If you go change those two things, you'd probably be surprised that your disease goes away. I had another guy say he was gonna kill himself. I said, listen, it's back when I used to reply to my emails when I was small.
Okay, we have to just talk about something really quickly. What about the people who are attractive, successful, and still depressed? Like, theoretically, in his universe, those people shouldn't exist. Obviously, yeah. Those people never have existed. Never. Ever in the universe. Ever. Robin Williams. I mean, yeah, it's fucking good example. I would even go closer to Twitch. Like, I would talk about, like, rest in peace, like, Reckful. Successful. Had a good relationship. Attractive. Still clinically depressed. Like, those people are in the Matrix. Yeah. Anthony Bourdain, yeah. It's like, dude, like, fuck off. This idea that, like, just work out and get a girlfriend and you'll stop being depressed. It's like, fuck off, dude. Like, what?
Smaller, I said, make me a promise, get a six-pack first.
A beer?
I said, get a six-pack first, get in fantastic shape, and then do whatever you want. Didn't want to kill himself once he was in fantastic shape.
So he did it?
Yeah. I have the before and after, I'll put him on Twitter. Kind of interesting that, isn't it? So how are we going to say we have this disease,
like,
which is Carlson?
To be very clear, it's sad because this is like, this is only half correct, right? If you go and see, for anyone here who's been diagnosed with depression or has had depressive episodes, and you've seen a therapist, therapists will tell you, I know you don't feel good. I know you feel like shit. Get out of bed even though you feel like shit. Go for a walk even though you feel like shit. Even just going for like a 5-minute walk outside, get the blood flowing a little bit, get a little bit of cardio, get a little bit of vitamin D from the sun, you will feel better. The hardest part is just getting yourself to start the task and you can do it and you're good. And therapists will tell you that. They will tell you your depression is real. It's real. And we're going to work on it. But what I need you to do is I need you to wake up and I need you to get out of bed that morning. And I know it's going to be hard and I know you're not going to want to do it. And you just want to sit in bed all day. But just force yourself to do it. Get the fuck out and just go walk for 5 minutes. Just go walk for 5 minutes. So it's like, it's true that there is some personal level, but you can't just like ignore that depression is real. That doesn't help you. It doesn't help you to ignore it. If anything, addressing the fact that you are dealing with depression or dealing with a depressive episode will give you more motivation, because it's like, okay, I won't start. My therapist has literally told me I am not going to start feeling better unless I start doing things. And going on this walk is not necessarily going to make me instantly better, but I have to start. I have to try. Telling someone it's not real isn't very motivating. Yeah. But if you tell someone it's real and it'll get better, but you need to try. You have to look at depression like a Dark Souls boss and you have to face it. Yeah. I've gotten treatment-resistant depression. I still stand outside my yard and soak in the sun like a goddamn plant. I went to the gym for like 30 minutes yesterday after not going for like 3 weeks. I already feel a bit better this morning. Yeah. Can we talk about these men's shoes? I've been looking at these fucking loafers for like 20 years. I am going to say something. For Tucker Carlson to be so big on masculinity and man and woman, and like people need to be gender conforming. Motherfucker has the most female presenting fucking Gertrude looking feet. How dare you say that trans people aren't real and say that people can't be gender non-conforming, and you're going to wear the most womanly shoes I've ever seen in my fucking life, dude. Are you crazy? A full-blown Barbara moment. That's insane.
Also, chat, try not to fear judgment so much. Hiding yourself out of fear of rejection is devastating. There are always people that will love who you are. Don't change your uniqueness for anyone.
Did they coordinate their shitty outfits? Okay, and to be clear, one other thing, okay? For two dudes who are so homophobic, they are wearing the fucking tightest pants I've ever seen. Oh my god. This shit is vacuum sealed on their thighs. Jesus Christ, dude. You are not allowed to be this homophobic and wear pants this tight. They look like they could be in a relationship. This is a husband-husband moment.
An effect. How are we going to say we have this disease where there's something wrong with you as a man, you have a disease because your life sucks? I mean, I don't think that's true. I think that your life just sucks and you should change it. And another thing I also preach, and this is another thing that's very important, I also think as a man, because life as a man is pain and suffering, and when I say that, because you're never going to be a good man or good at being a man without pain and suffering. You're going to have to go through a bunch of shit and have a terrible life to become a good man. I think you should embrace that and accept it.
Also, really quickly, I disagree. I have always disagreed with the idea that you need to live a life of pain and suffering to like grow and change or whatever. I think that some people benefit, or like it maybe not benefit.
Weird guy when you need him to take a couple motherfuckers down a notch.
Nordic Rest, thank you for the dono. What was I gonna say? Fuck. Right. I think the bad times make the good times better. Right? Like,
Keep in mind, if Andrew kept to his demands after the BBC interview, Tucker had to show up with a box of chocolates at the gate of Tate Villa. Kiss a homie.
Kiss a homie. Thank you for the 12 months. Kill Thistle. You become that person despite your hardships, not because of them. Exactly. Pain and suffering also isn't gender specific. Yeah. This is always my favorite thing. It's like, in these people's heads, like, women are just genuinely NPCs. It's like, okay. 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 It's like, the number of, like, red pill men who think that women don't experience mental illness is really funny to me. It's always really funny to me. It's like, no, bro. I had such crippling social anxiety, I almost failed school because of it, okay? Okay? Yeah, well, your life wasn't hard because, men are nice to you. It's like, oh, really? Really? That's crazy. That's crazy. I'll tell that to the people who have followed me home. I will tell that. I'll be like, you're making my life so easy right now. I just want you to know. I just want you to know you're making my life really easy. It's like, what the fuck? They don't have mental illness because it's always PMS. Yeah. God damn, dude. If you're a woman and you feel depressed, you just haven't tried my penis yet. So true, King.
And I think that the correct mental model for men to have is a degree of stoicism and not to be too concerned with even how they feel. If I woke up today happy, I would have done this interview with you. If I woke up today sad, I would have done this interview with you. What's the difference? Why put so much importance on my emotion if certain things must be done? I must work, I must train, I must see Tucker Carlson.
What the fuck? This is the stupidest thing on the planet. This is already what everyone does all the time for work. What universe does Andrew Tate live in where he thinks that like people just wake up and they're like, well, I'm not feeling so good, so I'm just not going to show up to my Walmart, bagging job today. It's like, that's already what people do. Tate is way too high on his own supply. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I must resist the matrix.
He's got duties.
I've got things to do. So why are we going to sit around and talk about how I feel if it doesn't even affect how I act? And as a man, it shouldn't, because there's too much to do. And the masculine world is hyper-competitive. This is another thing most people don't understand.
Totally agree.
It's hyper-competitive out here. All the women want a few men at the top.
What is the masculine world? Y'all got a whole ass world you're not telling us about? Yo. The fuck? Pepe La, she doesn't know.
Ferrari, you don't want a Ferrari to drive fast. You want a Ferrari because other men want a Ferrari and can't have one. It's hyper-competitive. So if you're competing against every other man...
That is the dumbest reason to get a Ferrari, by the way. If you get a Ferrari because you think men should have a Ferrari, you are the most beta soy cuck on the planet. You're literally admitting to letting other men decide your purchases. That is so beta soy. The most Chadzilla thing you can do is be like, actually, Chad, I'm getting a hatchback because it serves all of my needs and is fuel efficient. I don't care what other people think. That is fucking Giga Chad. Beta soy is like, I need to get a Ferrari, not because it goes fast, but because other men have cars that go fast, and I need to do that. Oh, Lenny! Hi, Lenny.
Every dollar you make, every girl you see, the house you live in, the car you drive, the life you live, you're not going to be able to compete with the person who performs regardless of how they feel if you only compete when you feel like competing. Right? Because there's men like me out there who will be sad every day and outcompete you regardless. I don't care how I feel. I will still win. And that's the kind of mindset you need to adopt. So I don't when a man
You've got a job to do. Stop whining. Go to work.
Completely.
Okay, again, really quickly, people already do this all the time because people have these things called bills that they have to fucking pay for, and they don't have an option. Have you ever seen a server just start fucking crying in the back room because they're at their job and they're like they don't want to be there and they're dealing with a terrible fucking mental health ordeal and they have to show up to work because they have to fucking pay their bills? Amazon has their own fucking cry boxes. Every single job you can think of, there is someone showing up at work today crying in the back room because they don't want to be there. I've been that server. Yep. Every single job. Okay. There's always a cry room. Yep. I cried in the walk-in cold. It felt good on my tears. Yelling or crying in the walk-in fridge. Yeah. Walk-in cooler is the designated cry room. There's too many people that are relating. No. But what was I gonna say? Sorry, I'm trying to remember something. Fuck. I lost it. Let me see. Maybe if I go, I'm scared to go back and have the video break. Let's just press play. Maybe I'll remember.
I agree.
Completely. Yes. So when men say, "Oh, but I feel sad," who cares?
Okay, I remember. I do agree that there are, agree is a strong word. I understand where he's coming from, that there are some jobs that literally you have to power through. Like I would say, and this is going to sound maybe a little partially self-absorbed, but I mean it in the more, this is a relatable experience for me and I'm talking from experience. Content creation. Content creation is like, especially if you're in the process of going full-time content creation and you still work a normal job, content creation is one of those things that you have to be 100% every single day, no matter what. That it doesn't matter what you're dealing with, you have to be there, right? And you can see like lots of content creators who talk about their experience transitioning from part-time streaming with another job to full-time streaming. They will say, I would have a terrible fucking day at work, and then I would show up and I would like have to fucking pretend like none of that happened so I could get on and stream because I really wanted to make streaming work or whatever. Like, I would say that that's true of certain types of field, but I would say that that's true of like anything that you are self-employed. Any type of job where you are self-employed and you have to force yourself to keep committing more labor in, that's exactly how I would describe it. Social work is the same, yeah.
World doesn't care. All the men who are out here to destroy you and take your girl don't care. So why do you care? Like the person who should care least is you. You're the only person who wakes up every day who should have a genuine vested interest in improving your life. Nobody else wakes up and wants to improve your life, only you. So if nobody else cares about how you feel, why do you care? So my argument also for depression is, you're depressed, fine. Have you trained today? Well, that doesn't change what you should do with your life, depressed or not. And I don't say this because I'm an eternally happy person. I say this because I've experienced all ranges of human emotion. I was in a Romanian jail cell with cockroaches crawling all over me as I slept. I never missed a day of training. I wouldn't say I was particularly happy.
I feel bad for those cockroaches.
But push-ups must be done. So they got done.
You're very close to your brother.
Correct.
And you were locked away for part of that with him. Did you have fun at all with him?
Yes. I do think there's something inside of men, whereas if you're with your boys or you're with your group of men, there's something inside of us.
Totally.
And it allows you to make the absolute best of the worst situations. Maybe that's an evolution from war. You know, all the men went to war.
Famously, women never do this, ever. Oh my god, hi Axie, hi. Famously, women have never done this. Famously. It's true. Famously, women have never taken part in any of this, ever.
And you saw all this pain and suffering, and you saw heads, people decapitated, and you're injured, but then you sit around the campfire and you're laughing.
You're laughing, that's right.
It's something inside of us, it's like a coping mechanism.
My brother in Christ, okay? My brother in Christ. To talk about decapitation, be like, there's something inside of you as a man that lets you get over that. It's like, we're just gonna ignore PTSD. We're just gonna ignore that this is not based in reality.
When you're around men. So when me and him were together, no matter how bad the scenario or no matter what they tried to do to us, part of us would just look at each other like, cigarette? And you find joy in that. And yeah, there's definitely, and that's another thing I think a lot of men are lacking. A lot of men are missing is a masculine support network. I think
Buddies.
Oh, to be clear, wait. Actually based. First base statement of the day. I do think this, actually. I do think that men do, a lot of men do lack strong emotional support systems with other men. But I think you can work on that. I think you can develop those close friendships with men. I think it's just that men are socially not predisposed, socially conditioned to not seek out close male friendships because that makes you gay or whatever. But I think that's based. I think trying to work on that and get like strong male bonds with people around you is good. It's good. Because I bet most people in here have had lots of friends who you guys are kind of friends. You guys play games together. Maybe you go to the movies together. You hang out together, but you don't actually ever talk about anything. Maybe if one of you gets out of a relationship, it's like, yeah, you know what? She sucked anyways, and that's it. But you can develop a close male friendship. You know what I mean? You just have to be willing to put in the time and effort and to try. Homophobia is also a big part of it. Oh, of course. Oh, 100%. But I think you can work on it. I think you can try. I think if you want to engage with someone when they're going through a hard time, you can definitely try it. I hate to say it, chat. I hate to say it, but it's actually, fellas, it's not gay to hug your homies when they're going through a hard time. It's actually not gay to say, hey man, do you want a hug? What is the kiss a homie? Kiss a homie. Okay? Tuck your homies in bed. Also, I will say one other thing. I'm going to say something, chat. The other day, I put a lot of effort in my friendships. I really do. I really try. Because in my worldview, I want to put in as much effort as I can because that's what I want to get back from other people. So whenever I make new friends or I start hanging out with new people, I try to put in maximum effort into every friendship. And then I reel it back as I realize or see that maybe I'm not getting the same amount, right? Because I think you should match people with what they give you. So there are friends where I've like come in at like 300% and I realize that they are just not going to be as available or they're not interested in that type of energy. And so then I reel it back. But I like to start at like 100 and try and be there and whatever. Because that's the type of friendships that I want to build. I want to build friendships where I am close with people. You know, I'm not interested in having like 100 acquaintances. I want to have like 10 really good friends. I want to have meaningful friendships. And I received a message from a friend like yesterday or like the day before. And like I literally was going to cry. And they were like, meeting you this year was literally one of the highlights of my year. And I'm glad I met such an amazing person. And I'm like crying. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. This is one of the sweetest messages I've ever received from a friend before. Oh my God. And I just think about how happy that made me. And I try to be there for other people that way. Like it would, think about how good you would feel, chat. And if you don't relate, you don't relate. If you're like, no, I don't want that shit. I don't want that gay shit with my male friends. All right, you're lost. I don't care. Fucking do what you want. But if you do, if you reach out to your friends and you tell them that shit, I promise you, if you would like to receive a message like that, they would like to receive a message like that. If it would make you happy to receive a message from one of your friends that you've known for like 6 months or a year, and the message says like, I'm very happy to have met you, and I really enjoy the time we spent together. It feels, and I like hope you feel the same way, or like I enjoy, you know, all this other stuff, or just even just like, love you, bro. If that would make you happy to read that, you should send that to people that you feel that way about. You know? If it wouldn't make you happy and you're just like some soulless fuck, then like don't worry about it and ignore my advice. But if it would make you happy, you should send a message like that to people. Obviously only send it to people that you actually feel that way about, right? Don't be sending like that to like your fucking boss or like coworkers you don't really give a fuck about. But if you have a close male friend and you send that, chances are you're also going to probably receive a message back like that, you know? It's just, I feel like, this is just my opinion looking inward. I feel like there is like homophobia and a lot of socialization that like, I shouldn't do this. There's a nice TikTok of guys calling their bros to tell them that they love them. That's so cute. I sometimes like to tell this to my best friend that she means so much to me and I love that she's my friend. Oh my God. I sent a message like that last night and she said nobody's ever said something like that to her before. That's so sweet. Oh my God. But you can build those close male friendships, you know? And if someone doesn't feel the same way, whatever, it's their loss, you know? I have a bad habit of doing that when I'm drunk. I feel like if you like the version of you when you're drunk, if you're like an angry drunk, do not interact. But if you are like a loving drunk person, embrace that person even when you're sober. You know what I mean? Okay.
You know, you talk to a guy and say, what was the highlight of your life? What was the best time of your life? And they'll say, college football. It's not about the football. It's about the team.
Yeah.
You know? And I think a lot of that's destroyed as well. Because also it's interesting how everything interconnects. When you destroy honor and principle and the masculine essence inside of men, well, now as a man, it's very hard to have friends. I wouldn't want to have a male friend who had no principles, no honors, and didn't work hard and was always crying about being sad. What do I want to hang around with him for? He's a loser, right? So then your support network's destroyed. And I think that men have always needed that since the dawn of time, and I think that's gone. But
They don't have friends. Men, especially middle-aged
We're just still okay.
men, have no friends.
absolutely, because they've been told that to give them all away and do as the wife says, and then she left him. No wonder he wants to kill himself, wouldn't you?
I like how they're still blaming women. Like, oh my fucking God. Yes, historically, women have been telling their male friends, stop hanging out with the boys. Stop it. Stop it. My brother in Christ. My brother in Christ.
No wonder he's depressed. It just sounds like the worst existence ever. And now we're living in a world now, especially, where everything is hyper-competitive, especially the sexual marketplace. Like if you're a 52-year-old, overweight, average income, no fame dude, and you have to find a girl, it's going to be pretty difficult to find a good one. It's going to be very hard. So we're like, well, of course he's lonely. And then his kids don't respect him. They're busy. Like, of course he's sad. Like, it's actually heartbreaking to discuss.
It is heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking. But then how do you prevent that happening? Well, then you need to be a man of honor and principle and make sure that you keep your support networks and make sure that your woman does respect you. And a woman's going to respect you when she sees other men respect you.
Yes.
And they're only going to respect you if you respect yourself.
The gendering is crazy, dude. Remy, thank you for the 5 gift subs. Thank you. Thank you so much. Sexual marketplace. Okay.
But to respect yourself, you have to be the kind of person who says no.
What do you think of porn?
There's been some statistics. There's been some studies done. Most men or less men are having sex than ever before.
I've seen that.
Yeah, and
What
that's
is that?
Well, that's an extension of the fact that masculine virtue is being destroyed. That's the thing that's interesting about all these things. They psyop, especially men. They say, listen,
Literally not true at all. Okay. The reason why men are having less sex than ever is because fucking commuting sucks ass. Community has been completely destroyed because everyone fucking lives in their tiny suburb where they can't meet any new people. Okay. And because COVID fucking decimated our ability to like go outside and meet people. And if none of those apply to you, chances are you probably work so many hours in a day that the only thing that you can use to meet people is like Tinder or Bumble or whatever online dating apps. And online dating apps fucking suck. Everybody knows that meeting people organically is way better than meeting people on dating apps. Not to like say that you can't potentially meet someone cool on a dating app. I know people who are in long-term relationships who met their partner off of like Bumble or Hinge or whatever, but most people, for the majority of our experiences, Did Tucker get so hot and bothered by Tate that he asked about porn out of nowhere? I don't fucking know. I don't have the time or energy. Yeah, I mean, people love to quote like Japan and be like, Japan's declining birth rate. Oh my God, how do we fix this? This is because of masculinity. And it's like, no, it's because people work like 14 hours a day, 6 days a week. You don't exactly have a lot of time and energy to devote to a whole ass relationship if you have to work that many hours and you have to work under some fucking degrading boss, dude.
women want a feminist man. Women want a man with no moral principle who would make sure that there's a conversation about who should fight the burglar when your house is broken into, because equal opportunities, equal rights, of course. Don't presume just because you're a man that you should defend her physically. Of course not. That makes you a bigot and a misogynist. So they convince men to adopt these virtues and ways. And of course, women, by and large, dislike.
Feminism is when I send my wife to fight the invader. Why do we keep talking about home invasions? Home invasions are such a small portion of like general crime. And I'm just going to say something else also. If someone is invading your home, you probably shouldn't be fighting them anyways.
Them for it. So now as masculinity is plummeted, a whole bunch of men are simply not having sex anymore, and then they become addicted to porn, which is cucking, effectively. I mean, two people are having sex and you're just watching it. and it's become a... Yeah.
Good point.
I mean...
This is a weird statement to make when I know both of these motherfuckers watch a lot of porn. He has a home invasion fantasy. Okay, but like literally all like right-wingers who believe in like protecting yourself have home invasion fantasies. They like go to sleep and they're like, oh, I hope I have that really good dream again. And in the dream, they're like fucking gigantic and jacked. And the home invader comes in and is like, I'm going to steal. And they're like, huh, no, you're not. And they wake up and they're like, that dream was so good. It's like, dude. Okay.
And it's become a pandemic, right? So men are replacing genuine sexual relationships with just the computer screen and porn. And it's becoming a very, very big problem. And that's also exasperated by the fact that I think the sexual marketplace has become globalized.
Okay, my favorite thing, when we talk about statistics and we don't mention the fact that like this is something that has been declining for men and women. It's like women are sadder than they've ever been. And it has to be because they're not making food and cleaning. And it's like, aren't men also sadder than they've ever been? But that's different. That's because women, also because of women. Listen, dude, okay? Capitalism is to blame. All right? I'm sad to say it, but it's true, okay? People are just sad. People are just more sad. People have less friends today. People are having less sex today. Overall.
Women are sad because of women, but men are sad because of women.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure, let me see. Number of close friendships. I'm trying to find it. I'll press play and let me try and find it.
This is the thing I say to young men. A lot of men come to me with problems, and my only answer to them is masculine excellence. I say that in the world we live in today, being a normal man or below normal is going to be terrible. You have to be an exceptional man because the sexual marketplace, especially, even if you just want to find a wife, is globalized. If you, in 1955, if you met the hot girl in the Nebraskan town, she was a hot girl in the Nebraskan town. If you meet her today, she's being offered to go to Courchevel and go skiing in France, and she's being...
I love this. I love this nonsense fucking bullshit, dude. I love it. I love it. Dude, this idea that like you're an attractive woman, some millionaire, billionaire is going to get you on his plane and you're going to have a blast traveling. It's like, no. Fucking no. This is so rare that happens to you. Fucking Christ, dude. It's not real. Okay, I found the chart here. The number of close friendships that Americans have. Excuse me, sorry. The number of close friendships that Americans have has declined over the past several decades. In 1990, 3% of Americans had no friends. No close friends, excuse me, not counting relatives. In 2021, 12% of the population says that they have no close friends outside of relatives. In 1990, the percent of Americans who said that they had close friends was 10 or more close friends was 33%. In 2021, only 13% of Americans say that they have 10 close friends. Like, it's literally just declining, dude. It's literally just declining. Many Americans are not overly satisfied about the size of their friendship groups. About half of Americans report that they are very satisfied or completely satisfied with the number of friends they have. 30% said they say they are almost only somewhat satisfied, and 17% say that they are not too or not satisfied at all. Women are slightly more likely than men to report being satisfied with their number of friends. A majority of women say that they are completely or very satisfied compared to less than half of men, 48%. The difference is 54% to 48%. It's pretty close. There is a difference. Also, 10 is so many friends. I could not imagine having 10 friends. Like 10 close friends. I have like 2 close friends. Maybe like 3.5. Maybe. I was trying to make new friends. It's still hard. I mean, yeah, it's making new friends is really hard. Making new friends is so hard. My cat counts, right? Oh, I have fucking 5 friends, chat. Wait a minute. But anyways. Oh, and then look, there are notable racial and ethnic differences. Black and Hispanic Americans express greater feelings of satisfaction than white Americans do. Close to 6 in 10, 58%, and 56% in Hispanic people, Hispanic Americans report that they are very or completely satisfied with how many friends they have. Okay, so it's like anywhere from like a 7 to a almost 10% difference. Not surprisingly, Americans who have more friends report higher levels of satisfaction with the number of friends they have. Shocker. And then here we have completely satisfied. More people are completely satisfied when they have more than 10 friends. Okay. What's the 12% of people that are completely satisfied with having no close friends? That is crazy. I feel like that's cap. I feel like that's cap and that's cope and that's like American individualism. American individualism convincing people like, actually, having friends is unnecessary when you're married to the grind. You know? Very satisfied. 44%. Very satisfied at 10 plus friends versus 17%. What? Not satisfied at all. The highest percent, unsurprisingly, is when you have none. And only 1% of people are not satisfied at 4 plus friends. It's not surprising at all. Not even a little surprising. Oh my God. Anyways. Whoa, this is crazy. Excuse me. 10 is a lot, IMO? Yeah, 10 is a lot. Yeah, 10 is actually a lot, not gonna lie. What were we talking about? I forgot. We were talking about something important, but we'll get back to the video.